Hello. Nice to meet you. Take a seat. Welcome to the stew. This week, I talked to the steamiest couple from the biggest reality show of the summer, from Love Island, USA. Olandria Carthen, Nic, Marcel Vansteenberghe.
Yeah.
Welcome to Modern Love.
Hi.
Hey.
You haven't watched the show. Do you think you ever will?
It's interesting to see how things were edited and cut up and versus like the people that you know from living in that experience.
Mm-hmm. Like, I know what the reality of everything was. So it's going to be hard to see like the narrative that's being pushed, especially when it comes to me. Because I'm like, oh, that's just not me. Like, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be tough. But I still need to watch it to get a better understanding of what the world's seeing.
From the New York Times, I'm Anna Martin. This is Modern Love. You are, perhaps, two of the biggest stars of the biggest reality show on TV right now, Love Island USA. For people who don't know the show, I don't know how they've avoided it, but I'll just sort of lay it out. You met in a villa. Mm-hmm. You lived with a bunch of other sexy singles. Yeah. You competed in challenges. You had no access to the outside world for more than a month, right? And you spent a lot of this season coupled up with other people, but through a series of dramatic twists and turns, you ended up together. Correct. People could not look away from your story. And I think it's fair to say that it also kind of divided audiences, right? Mm-hmm. There were people who were skeptical, who said, you know, this is a relationship that was formed so they didn't want to get kicked off the show. Mm-hmm. And then there are other people, the Nic and Olandria army, who believe your connection is so genuine and so aspirational that they've made 3-hour fan edits of your most romantic moments on YouTube. Mm-hmm. You've seen them?
Yeah.
I want to start there. It's like, what do you think it is, to both of you, what do you think it is about your relationship that makes people so obsessed?
Well, you want to take this or you want me?
I can go really quick.
Okay.
I just think like in the real world, I think relationships are so hard and it's not that fairy tale that it is in like movies. Mm-hmm. And so when you look at our relationship from, you know, the TV standpoint, it's like, yeah, we were into each other day one. Mm-hmm. And then we went through all of these like trials and tribulations, you know, dating other people, doing, you know, kissing other people, a lot of things with other people. And then when you have this like story ending, you know, grand finale of like coming back to each other after all of this, you know, BS, that I think people like resonate with the hardships of their real relationships is like seeing the hardships in our show. So.
I feel like a lot of people feel so seen within our story. Like, I don't know, a lot of our supporters are like huge book readers and they love rom-coms. So there's like, oh my gosh, it's just so beautiful to see it happen in real time because it wasn't scripted. It was all natural. So to see it naturally happen in that way, I don't know, we just captivated the audience in that sense. So I truly feel like the first day I kissed Nic, and then he kissed me back the second day. It's like this cat and mouse game. And then they see him yearning. Like, you don't really see men yearning for women in this day and age. And then with him being a fair-skinned male and I'm a dark-skinned female, but seeing me being loved out loud resonated with a lot of people in my community. It's like, oh, this is beautiful. Like, dark-skinned Black woman being yearned for and loved out loud by someone that looks like Nic. It's like, this is beautiful. Like, this is like healing the world in a sense because you don't see this often, especially not in real time.
Before you went on Love Island, you're single. That's why you're on Love Island.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you both think you were single?
Long pause. I was like, what was a single again?
Feel free to think. It's a tough question.
So I've only been in one relationship my entire life. I got into that relationship my freshman year of college, and it was a 3-year relationship. I've been single for 5 years. We've broken up in 2020. So honestly, I truly felt like from that situation, at times I felt like I overhealed.
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 You said that on the show, I
literally.
think. What do you mean by that?
So in my relationship, considering that it was my first one, I truly found myself being way more forgiving than I should have been. Blinded by like the potential of a situation or a person rather than the pattern like that was right in front of me. Like, you know what? You're just not, you know, instead of just seeing it for what it was, I just saw it for what I wanted it to be. And after I just done away with that situation, I was like, you know what? The first red flag I see, I'm out. Like, I cannot, like the moment that I forgave somebody so much, I looked up and 3 years passed me by.
It's like you learned your lesson so much from the hurt that you went through.
Exactly.
That it was sort of like, after that, you were very strict. If
Extremely
there's one red flag,
strict.
as you say, I'm
out.
Overhealed. I like that.
Overhealed, literally. So when I was asked to come onto this show, I was like, you know what, Olandria? We're going to believe in second chances. We're going to believe in giving grace, extending grace. Like, you're going to know the value in that, which is why me and Taylor's situation dragged out for so long. Because I didn't want to be that girl anymore to write people off immediately. It's like, you know what? I'm not coming into this show with that same mindset. I want to be more open. I want to learn the value of second chances and the value of giving grace. Did it kind of get me embarrassed? Yes, but I learned so much from it.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. What about you, Nic? Like, what were you looking for before entering the villa? Who did you normally go for?
Yeah, I think before the villa, I'd been, a year and a half prior. That's when I broke up with my ex. So after that, I just started traveling all the time, like living out of suitcases. And like, I never was one to like, at that time in my life, like I didn't have really a home. So I didn't have, if I could barely take care of myself, like how am I going to take care of a girl kind of thing? And I was just, having fun and, floating around. And when the show reached out, it was like, okay, this could be, a good opportunity to like get a girlfriend. And if that happens, great. If it doesn't happen, then I'll just go back to my old ways.
Can I ask you, like, did you feel, it sounds like you were, is agnostic the right way to put it? Like, oh yeah, if I find love, that's great. And if not, back to my suitcase. Did you feel like you were ready to be in a relationship?
Honestly, at that time, I don't know that I would be ready. Looking back on who I was back then, no. But looking back, like I've grown through this process and I've realized that it would be nice to have like a person, to do life with. Because a lot of these times when I was traveling, I'd be doing it alone. And like, I'm always thinking like, there could be someone out there who I could be doing this with. Right. And, sharing experience with somebody is, for me, more fulfilling than doing those experiences by myself.
I want to now dive into the show itself. So, Olandria, starting with you, for a lot of the season, as you mentioned, you were trying to make it work with this guy, Taylor. Yeah. He was a cowboy, which is what you said you wanted, right? And let's just pause on that.
She got one.
Hello. Carthen. No, that's right.
Are you a cowboy?
Yeah, I went to my first rodeo this weekend.
Okay, well,
he's certified.
So how was it? How was the rodeo? Where was it?
It was, it was actually with Taylor and at Taylor's house. So, that's an interesting that's an interesting dynamic. But Taylor and I are best friends, so it's like, I don't know, it's interesting. But Taylor's the one teaching me how to be a cowboy.
How to be a cowboy.
There's some deep relationship metaphor here that I'm not like on it enough to make in the moment. But let me just say, for those who, the uninitiated, Taylor's the person you were coupled up with for a lot of the season.
Correct.
Who ultimately did not choose you, opening up the way for you two to from your relationship. And you guys went to Oklahoma to...
I did not.
Okay.
Just me.
Just to be clear.
Yeah. Just the voice. Okay, very fun. We're talking about Taylor. He was a cowboy, which you said you wanted. As someone watching this, and you've certainly heard this from fans, maybe from friends or family, watching you work so hard for this connection was a little bit tough because it seemed like Taylor was just not reciprocating that effort.
Exactly.
Right. I'm moving to make a connection, whoever I make a connection with. So that was my whole plan throughout here. And the way you was thinking was, you want me to move for you. Ooh.
Looking back now, it's a month out from, the show ending, ish. Why do you think you put so much work into that relationship?
Because Taylor was reciprocating the energy. It just was edited to where you guys couldn't see that. You think I were really putting all this effort into a man that's not putting in an effort for me.
No, yeah.
I know I'm confident, and I've been trying to clear that up as much as possible in the media because I'm like, I am not delusional, guys. I know my worth. I am a beautiful woman that has a lot to offer. Taylor was putting in the effort. He was a gentleman. The women loved him. He was very attention to detail. He remembered people's tea orders, coffee orders,
breakfast.
How did I say breakfast. Like, he was very good with women. And I like with me, when it comes to a guy, it's not more so physical, because physically, Taylor's cute, but it's like not someone I would go for the outside world. I love the way he treated women. And when I say I wanted a cowboy, I like the mannerisms of men from the country. I truly feel like when it comes to chivalry, opening doors and things like that, I feel like country men prioritize that when it comes to women. So that's what I meant when I said I wanted a cowboy. With me being from the deep South, I'm from Alabama. That's all I'm used to. You get what I mean? So like when I was in the villa, I was like, you know what? I want a man that treats me like a woman. A man that helps me up and down the stairs without me asking. Yeah. Opening doors, sure, but in the villa, it's like,
there's not really that many doors.
Exactly. So like in other ways, like, how can you show me that you're a gentleman? And Taylor literally mirrored that perfectly. Unfortunately, it was not shown.
Yeah.
But that's why I was trying so hard to reciprocate some type of energy back into him because I was like, you know what? I believe in reciprocation. I don't believe only men should be putting in all this effort. I love showing my person. I hear you. I see you. I want to reciprocate this energy back into you, which is why I went as far as like making dates for him and cooking for him and things like that. Because I want him to know, like, I'm here with you too. Like, I don't want you to feel like you put in all this effort for nothing. That's why I was going so hard. Really wish y'all got to see on the flip side that he was going just as hard for me too. But unfortunately, you guys didn't.
Yeah.
But that's why I was doing that.
And I appreciate you clarifying that. And maybe that's why it makes sense that you and Taylor are like hanging out together.
Which to a lot of people, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I personally haven't seen the show, but I think what
you
did
haven't
they...
seen the show?
No, but like what they saw was maybe like a lack of communication. I don't know.
I know in like
could probably
episode
speak
like
better on that.
like the first week he told like Ace like, oh, the physical attraction isn't there.
Right.
So the viewers are already seeing like, oh, Taylor's just stringing Olandria along. He's not doing this. She's trying so hard to get him to like her, and he's just not doing anything. We all saw Taylor trying. Am I lying?
No, and that's the unfortunate part is Taylor's receiving all this backlash for being not a gentleman, but we know like the character of Taylor and who he is. And although maybe like there was some communication lacking, which was a thing, but that whole edit is not like the embodiment of who Taylor is.
I mean, just speaking about sort of the actual experience in the villa, did Taylor and Olandria's relationship seem one-sided to you, or it sounds like no as an observer? To
me, no, but at the same time, like I was dealing with my own relationship, so everything that I saw thought was positive.
Yeah.
I don't know. It looked like he was taking care of her, and she would do things for him as well. Like she was setting up dates for him. He was setting up dates for her.
Which is probably why he chose not to. Which is probably why he remained distant too. Yeah. Because he saw like from the outside, Taylor. It looked like Taylor was trying, and I was trying with Taylor. So it might have. That's probably why.
I mean, for sure. Like
took a back seat on it.
When you see your best friend, doing these great things for this great girl, it's like, I'm not going to impose on that when I'm dealing with like this Bermuda Triangle of a situation.
We will get to that triangle.
Modern love.
I want to just close it. It's like, so you are this edit that you got that made it seem like Taylor was not as attentive. That doesn't feel true to you, and I'm sensing some frustration or sadness
for
there.
Sure. Because you get out and you hear these podcasts like speaking on my character of who they think I am. I'm like, I am not this desperate girl that's like, oh, Olandria needs to look in the mirror and see who she is. I'm like, I do know who I am.
You're like, I know, actually.
God, like, I want to scream it in their face. Like, but at that time, I didn't realize the type of edit that was put out to where it looks like Taylor was uninterested. I'm like, no way you think I would get on national television, coming after this man and trying to get him to see who choose me, pick me. Like, are you serious? Listen,
this is great to hear you say
Even
that.
when my mom came, she was like, girl, what the hell is going on with you? I was like, oh, hold on. What the hell?
What have you been seeing?
Literally.
But that's the strange thing about being so
and I was
sequestered.
so caught off guard because she could only tell me so much.
That must have been really destabilizing to
oh
hear
my
from your
goodness.
mom.
I was like paralyzed on this. I'm like, what the if my mom is coming at me, because she's very blunt. She gives it to me blunt and uncut. She was like, girl, you need to lock in, like, for real. And that's when I knew. I was like, oh my God. Like, I feel like, a weird edit is getting pushed.
Yeah.
And my mom is like, girl, who are you? Like, I know my daughter. Like, this ain't you. What's up?
Yeah.
So that's when I knew, like, okay, something's up. So when I came out of the villa, hearing podcasts, and I'm just this thirsty girl that's beautiful, that's trying to get this cowboy to see who I am and get him to choose me. I'm like, hey, I'm not this thirsty girl y'all think I am at all. And I try to speak to Taylor's character as much as possible because I know he's being a lot of hate too. The only disconnect with me and Taylor is like the communication thing. Like, you could have told me sooner.
You're talking about knowing your worth.
Yes.
There's this one moment that you have, which to me is one of the most emotional moments of the season. You think you're going to get kicked off the show. You're worried you're going to get kicked off the show. And then there's this moment where you look directly at the camera. Do you remember what you say? You say,
I thought I was getting it right. I thought I was doing it right.
I thought I was doing it right. I just want to find love so bad.
I've been single for 5 years, and I truly feel like this time I actually was getting it right. I want to find love so bad, y'all. I really do.
Your voice is very emotional. It almost kind of cracks in that moment. And I was so moved by it because I really felt like it was one of the first peaks we had at how tough this had been for you. What was happening in your head at that moment?
at that moment, I thought I was being dumped. So I was like, you know what? I came here with an open mind, an open heart. I left all of my bad qualities at the door, you know what I mean? And I came into Fiji with an open mind, you know? I wore my heart on my sleeve. I expressed my emotions to, Taylor. And, you know, I was very open with my emotions, even on television. So I'm like, this is big for me because I'm not that open when it comes to people or that vulnerable. So the fact that I was giving him second chances and extending grace, and I was like, I thought I was getting it right. Like, I just felt like, I came here with the right intentions to find love. And here I am being sent home for no reason, Well, not for no reason, but, I thought I was being sent home. So I don't know. It was just very tough for me, too. Because I'm like, ugh.
It was really affecting and very relatable. I've never been, dumped from an island, but certainly I've, yet, call me, but,
Season 8.
Season 8.
Season 8. I'm turning to you, Mr. Bermuda Triangle.
Hey.
For a lot of this season, you were coupled up with a woman named Sierra. She was very direct with you, it seemed, about how much she liked you.
No one makes me feel the way that you do.
And I feel like with you, it's just been so easy.
What was it about that relationship that was working for you?
I think the very first thing was that the connection of like how she loves to travel, and there was just so much connection past like excuse me, sorry.
Yeah. Also, we can take a little sip.
Yeah, might have to. Thank you, New York Times, for this water. I think that we just had a connection from like traveling and our interest in modeling and like kind of this working in the same industry. And that was all within like the first few hours of meeting her. And at that time I was, coupled up with another woman named Bella.
Yes.
And for me, it was like that verbal communication and that connection that like surpassed that relationship.
You became exclusive, right? You you closed off.
Yeah. And I think that things just like clicked. It was like easy to work past problems with her. And like when an issue would arise, it would be, I don't know, just easy. Like everything was easy about it. And it just flowed well. And then boom, like she gets removed from the villa without me knowing. So
yeah. We later find out that's because of social media posts she made, she since apologized for. She gets removed. I want to linger just before that for a second. You say it seemed easy. Was that sort of frictionless connection, was that something you were looking for? Like, did it feel like you were putting in work, I guess, or did it just feel very effortless?
I would say effortless, like not in like a negative connotation, like a really positive one, just like free flowing, simple, like talking about life outside the villa. And for me, like closing things off is a big deal. So, or like, sorry, being exclusive is a big deal.
Yeah.
And but like, the villa turned another way.
Yeah.
Now we're here. So
you've talked about the Bermuda Triangle. Can you explain what that means? What is that triangle? How are you getting lost in it? Tell me what's up.
Well, I think like the story of the Bermuda Triangle is that it's like hurricane-y, people go missing. It's like hardship.
Yeah.
And for me in my head, it was like extreme hardship. And I mean, to the outsider view, it's like, okay, you have two girls, that should be easy. Like that's.
And let's say who the points were in this triangle.
Yeah, it was me at one point, and then the other point of the triangle is Bella. The other point is Sierra. So I think for that first week, I was just so split between like hurting. I'll be potentially hurting somebody's feelings and like sending somebody home.
Well, Bella, you haven't been chosen to be in a couple. And that means your time on Love Island is over.
Yeah, it was just like hard to deal with and navigate through the villa. So that was the Bermuda Triangle.
Then ultimately, you and Sierra developed this connection. Things seem to be going very well, but I will say you two keep finding each other in the challenges, which are, take many different forms, but generally involve, making out.
Yeah.
There is this one, it's a very early challenge where you're blindfolded, you approach, you don't know who it is, but you get this amazing, you give her an amazing kiss. I mean, you guys do so much kissing on this show. Are you kissed out by the end of it?
Yeah.
You are?
There's like a recovery.
Literally, when it comes to challenges and it involves kissing, it's like you just black out. Like, it's just, literally, you just do. I don't know. It becomes so normal. It's just like, all right.
How often did you think about that kiss?
The day 2?
That blindfold one throughout the show.
I don't know. For me, that was like our proper first like makeout session. So I think like that was kind of the precedent for the rest of the challenges being like, okay, I want Olandria every kiss. So yeah, that was definitely like the strong foundation of like what the rest of the season would become.
Can you talk to me a little bit more about why you didn't just be like, hi, that was me, those amazing lips, those were mine?
I have no problem like being upfront and like confrontational with people. I think it was more like in my head, it was like, okay, I can be like her secret admirer. Like it was cute like how she didn't know. I remember looking at her from across like on day 2 and she was like, who kissed me? Like I know it was someone with a scruffy beard, and I started like feeling
yeah.
I was like, it's scruffy.
You said like a close beard, and I was screaming at my screen like, it's Nic, like it's Nic.
Yeah, and I kind of was just like looking across, like
yeah. Bro, what was that stare across when like was it after you kissed me or before you kissed me? You was like looking at me like,
was I?
Yeah, it was like
after,
a deep stare
or before, probably.
Yeah, you was like very focused.
You felt like you couldn't pursue because you were doing your thing with Taylor.
Yeah. It's Bermuda Triangle. And Bermuda Square would have been, I would have had to remove myself from the island
Would have
and all
been
that
tough.
stress.
How do you navigate that?
Thank goodness I
didn't really get lost.
That would have
in
been crazy.
No,
if it was
can't
all
do
through,
that.
Too much.
Yeah.
We have to talk about another kiss, of course, which is the kiss in Soul Ties, which is an area of the villa with just a sign that says Soul Ties, right?
Like, Soul Ties is a big deal.
There's aura to it.
There's
Soul Ties. If we see somebody going to Soul Ties, we're like, they're going to Soul Ties.
I know, but I'm like, Soul Ties.
So it's a big deal.
Soul
if
Ties.
someone is taking you to Soul Ties, you're locked in.
Okay,
Dang
noted.
near.
Yeah,
Dang
totally.
near.
Noted. The Soul Ties. So, you two have this kiss, right? You're still technically involved with other people. Unbeknownst to you, many members of the viewing public had mobilized behind you two, were really shipping you hard. I want to set the scene of this kiss. You're laying in Soul Ties, very close, talking about how you kissed during the challenges, but only during the challenges. And then, Nic, you say something like, do you remember what you say? You're like,
let's see what's outside of the challenge. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, you remember. Why don't we see if there's any chemistry outside the challenges? And you kind of look him up and down.
Oh,
I'm a little bit editorializing, but whatever. And then you say, well, there's only one way to find out.
Yeah.
Outside of the challenges.
It's only one way to find out.
And then you have this kiss.
Boom, fireworks.
Oh my God. I mean, I really sometimes I felt like I had to look away because it was so
passionate.
Intimate, passionate. I'm like, taking a sip of my water, whatever. Then, the day after, you two say that you didn't feel any romantic connection. And I am so excited to be able to ask you this directly. Like, how? How? That kiss was so steamy. You really were like, we're friends.
Okay.
How's a dang good question because you can go ahead.
Okay, so in that moment in time, I did feel something. It was a great, I didn't realize how steamy the kiss was until I watched it back. Because we've kissed so many times in the challenges, so it's just like our kisses are always
blindness.
good.
You've kiss
yes.
blindness.
When I watch back, I'm like, oh shit!
Soul Ties has aura.
Oh, it was crazy. So when we kiss, I'm like, okay, this is nice. Like I feel good. Like what I'm saying, it feels just as good as it does in the challenges or whatever. So when afterwards, I kind of felt like a sense of guilt because I know how Sierra was having a hard time in Casa because she was really missing Nic and crying.
Who Nic is with.
Yes, and this is before I was done. Like she was crying, so I have all that playing in my head. And then at that time, Taylor, I did not know Taylor, did not find me physically attractive, all that stuff. So it's like I felt like I owed him something. So I was like, oh my gosh, I got to tell Taylor and I got to tell Sierra. Like I feel bad.
External noise.
Yes. So me being the person that I am, I'm always considering everyone else's feelings when I make decisions. And it's like in that moment in time, I felt terrible for Sierra and Taylor. I felt like I owed them so much. So I didn't allow myself to truly feel what I wanted to feel when it came to Nic and admitted to him like, I liked it and I wouldn't mind, But at the same time, I know, not only did I know Sierra's missing Nic, I know he was missing her too. Whether that was portrayed or not, I knew he was, so it's just like, I don't even want to do this to you anymore. Because I know he was in a triangle before. And he was like, it didn't feel good being on that end of it. And it doesn't feel good being on the other end. So it's like, I don't even want to put him in a situation to make him choose between me or Sierra.
Right.
Because I know they had a great connection. And they soon after that closed things off. So it's like, it was just a weird predicament
You're
for
thinking
me.
about basically everyone else except for yourself.
Me. Exactly. And that has been my downfall my entire life, always considering everyone else except for Olandria. That's why I didn't speak up. I was like, you know what? Although I felt these things, Sierra, if this is making, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind you walking out with this person because it makes you happy, regardless of how I feel. Even though you know what I'm saying? I feel like even after that, I probably would have been voted off eventually because I didn't find anybody. But I was okay with that because Sierra was happy, and this is her person. You know what I mean? So I was just like, you know what? It might not work here, Olandria, but you can find somebody else on the outside, maybe. You know, I just did not consider myself at all in that.
Nic, how did that kiss feel for you? Because you are, at least in the way that it's edited, the way that we see it as viewers, the day after you say, I want to talk about this kiss, and you say, I'll let you go first, which I thought was interesting because you were sort of
I was trying
getting
to check
information.
the temperature.
I know, this is what I'm saying.
Because I was too scared to admit it.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you go first. Let me see where your head's at.
And then you said, you know, I think we should just be, well, you said, like, I'm thinking about Taylor and I'm thinking about Sierra.
And that was like the same reasoning that she had said. It's like, it's true. Those doors are still open.
Yep.
So you did feel something in that kiss.
Yeah, I mean, you watch that playback. It's like, how are you going to tell me that you didn't feel? I'm looking at myself, telling myself.
He literally zoned out
Nic,
for a moment.
No, you looked drunk after that kiss. You did. You were like, sorry, I probably shouldn't, but you really did.
No, I mean, looking drunk is crazy.
So you know what I mean, though? When you have a really good kiss, you feels like you're drunk.
Yeah. I mean, I'm telling Nic on the screen. I watched it on TikTok because I watched the edits, and I'm like, Nic, you're gonna tell me that you didn't feel anything right there? That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But it was all this external sort of noise, which gets cleared up through a series of Sierra leaves the show, Taylor chooses to couple up with this bombshell named Clark. So you two do end up together. And there is like cheers from the Nic Olandria, I'm saying that right, Nic Olandria Hive. People have called this a friends to lovers arc. People have called it a slow burn. But I want to know from you, like, how do you describe this connection to yourselves?
I mean, I think it is a slow burn. We started off as close friends.
I love it, and everyone knows I'm a slow burner. So like, it's kind of like me and Nic was building in on this story that we didn't even know. Like, it wasn't even published yet. Like, we were just adding to it every single episode. You know what I mean?
Like, you couldn't have drawn that up any better.
Literally.
I feel like, if you tell a rom-com writer to go write a rom-com, you're going to write a story about Nic and Olandria.
Literally.
Like, that should be turned into a movie.
Yeah. Literally, after, like, so many authors was following, like, notable authors was, like, following us, because, like, Twitter was like, oh my gosh, so-and-so just followed Olandria. Like, what if she makes a book about them? I'm like, honestly, I will be down.
But can I ask something, which is, like, people love to see this kind of arc. It makes us feel good and believe in the power of, a slow burn, a connection that's built on friendship and sort of slowly building that intimacy. But when you cast yourselves in an arc of sort of a rom-com, I don't know, we all know how rom-coms end. They end happily, but real life doesn't always go that way, right?
Yeah.
Like, does it feel like, at the same time as it's beautiful, sort of a lot of pressure to have people so invested in this?
For sure.
I
think there's like this term being thrown around. Parasocial. Do you know what that means?
I literally just learned about that word.
Parasocial. Like, people feel like they know you because they see you or hear you.
And they feel like they should have like strong opinions about our relationships. And I feel like, and a lot of other couples can say the same thing coming off this show. And there's just so much pressure for, us to get married and have kids. And, in reality, we've been together for
a few weeks.
So.
Yeah, that feels like a lot.
Yeah, and we're never going to let anybody, like, dictate what we're going to do in our relationship. And I think that's why we're, like, prioritizing us over what other people think and block the noise. So this is our real-life relationship.
Yeah.
If you think that we're not displaying PDA, like, at an event, it's because we aren't comfortable with that.
Yeah, and we did that all season.
Yeah,
like, oh my, y'all seen this kiss.
You can run back the show.
A year-long break from kissing. Like, I want to give that to you.
Yeah, just like they see us out like, oh, they're not doing this. They're not kissing. They're not doing this. Oh, it's not genuine. I'm like, bro, you literally seen us all season kiss each other down for episodes at a time.
You can rewatch the show.
Can you give us a break?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, because we're not doing those things doesn't mean it's not genuine.
Yeah,
It's weird.
And I think like the true supporters will realize that is that we don't need to be sharing our relationship anymore, like to that extent. But thank you to the people who do support that. You know, whether or not we're kissing in public or whatever, you know, the deal is.
Yeah.
People trying to read the tea leaves in a way that must be frustrating.
Yeah.
Can I ask how you define your relationship now?
As in labels?
Yeah, if you use them.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm checking your temp this time.
Oh my goodness. No, because the way you explained it yesterday was beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're not girlfriend boyfriend yet, but it's like this thing that we've been building over time. Like I said, we've been together for 3 weeks, but at the same time, like this 3-4 weeks, it's like we've been to Greece together. We've been working, you know, shooting model shoots together and supporting each other, and it's just fun to be doing like life together. Like I would hate to come out of the villa and be feeling like lonely and feeling like I have to deal with all this shit by myself. But with Olandria, it's like we're just such strong support systems for each other, and like whether or not you want to call that girlfriend or boyfriend, I call that like a strong relationship. So
can I, and this is, I actually just had this conversation with my sister who is seeing someone but not girlfriend, boyfriend, and she had like a sort of elaborate schema as to what that meant. But can I, like, do you have a sense of what it would mean to define the relationship? Like, is there a certain place you want to reach, or will you just sort of know when you know?
I don't know. I feel like we'll just know when we know.
I'm definitely like the type B person, like go with the flow. For me, it's like
literally.
I'm just like happy, and I feel like I know that Olandria is happy. So us being happy, I feel like that's the priority over you know calling us husband wife or you know whatever the vibes are.
Sure.
I will say it mirrors, like I said with my sister, something we see in the real world with dating, where it's like there's a real hesitancy to use labels, and people are like, you know, I don't know, me, you know, being stuck in like months-long situationships with like no label, and that's been very tough. Do you think, I guess like what do you think is maybe scary about a label of boyfriend, girlfriend, or is scary the wrong word?
I wouldn't necessarily say scary. Like I said, it's been a few weeks.
Yeah.
In the real world,
right. Thanks for reminding me.
Like, it feels I get it because Love Island is very intense.
Yeah.
I'm like, guys, it's been a couple of weeks. In the real world, Love Island aside, I don't decide to be someone's girlfriend within the 2 or 3 weeks. Like, come on, guys, let's use this thing right here.
You're so right. And thanks for gently telling me to use my brain. No. Thank you. Because the time is sort of warped.
Yes.
And so, safe to say you guys are dating.
Yes.
Not boyfriend, girlfriend.
Not boyfriend, girlfriend, though.
I have time for one.
I like the word dating, by the way. Like, that's what it is.
Because dating, you're experiencing each other. You're figuring each other out. You know what I mean? To see if you want to.
That's something I've changed. Like, before Love Island, I thought the term dating was like, this is going to be the person I'm going to marry.
Yeah.
But I've learned that, like, dating can be getting to experience people and, like, getting to know if that could be your person to marry. So, I love that.
You guys are dating. Nic
Olandria
Olandria
dating.
We're going to get in touch with you, I think, after the reunion airs to talk about what happened. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Oh, my God. Hey, Nick.
Hey.
All right. So, Nic, Olandria, I got to watch the season 7 reunion along with basically everyone else in America last night. It was 2 hours long. A lot got hashed out. When we talked last in studio, you both told me that you said everything you wanted to say at the reunion. Do you think the reunion airing marks an end to you two needing to defend your relationship in some way? Like, is this some sort of turning point for the two of you?
Nick, you want to go or you want me?
You got it.
Okay. I think because here lately, I guess with us being out of the villa, people has just been feeling the need to, I don't know, like place themselves in her relationship in a sense. And at first, I was so open to like, oh, you know what? I want them to see all the ins and outs of our relationship. I want them to see like where we stand and where we are. But I don't know. Here lately, it's just been insanely intense. So I kind of just want to keep it private in a sense, you know?
What do you think it would take for you to want to be open about your relationship again?
I guess people if people just stop trying to pick at Nick all the time. Like he is a part of me. Like that's somebody I am connected to too. So you picking apart him is not gonna make me feel better
Mm,
about myself because that is somebody I truly
mm-hmm,
care about. So
mm.
if I see less of that and less of people trying to like dissect where our relationship is and who Nick is as a person and who I am as a person, maybe if I see less of that, I'll be more so open into showing them where we
Yeah,
stand and showing like letting them in a little more. But it's just
yeah.
very disheartening with me always seeing a constant hate train either on me, on him, or on the both of us. It's so draining.
I am really sorry about that. I
Yeah.
really actually cannot imagine what that is like, and
Hmm.
I'm sorry that you have to go through that. I really am.
Yeah.
Nick, do you feel similarly about sort of not wanting to be as open anymore because of fan viewer reactions?
I do. We were so open in the villa. It's kind
Hmm.
of nice to finally dictate like how much privacy that we want to have. And I think it goes back like that term
Parasocial. Yeah, yeah.
parasocial. People feel the need that they want to dictate our relationship and tell us what to do, tell us what label we have, and tell us what we should be doing. But at the end of the day, we're adults and we make our own decisions. And I think the decision right now between Alandria and I is keeping things private, which I think we both want.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Um, Olandra, I want to talk about one of, at least for me, the most
Hmm.
emotional parts of this reunion.
Hmm.
It was your conversation towards the end with another contestant named Huda. During the
Hmm.
season, you two seemed to be friends. At least that's what we saw on screen. But at the reunion, you were very direct with her that you were hurt that she didn't stand up for you when you faced a lot of hateful comments and often racist um,
Hmm.
comments online. Did you feel betrayed by her, or is that too strong a word?
Absolutely. Me and Huda was extremely close in the villa. And even outside of the villa, we were close. Like we were in an Airbnb and she was under me the whole time. Like that's how we were in the villa as well. So me
Like in
just
a bed
asked like,
bunk or bed? Yeah, bunk bed. Yeah.
yeah. So me even me having to ask her to speak out towards that the racist things that she had, like the racism towards me, it's like I shouldn't even have to ask as a friend. It's something that you
Hmm.
should have automatically did if you truly cared about me and if you truly loved me the way you said you did.
Can you just like from both of you, I want to know like how important are friendships inside of this villa that's ostensibly created to foster romantic relationships? Like, why are friendships so important on this show?
I think that the friendships are so important for me because Um, as fun as it is going through the villa experience, it's also, really stressful. And those friendships are really a big part of what got me through the villa. And it's like your support system inside and outside the villa. You're
Mm,
all kind of going through this really similar, weird experience of overnight quote unquote fame. And it's hard to deal with. And so those friends who are there for you and experiencing those same things, it's like, that's what kinda gets you gets you through all the craziness.
did you expect those friendships to translate outside of the villa, like in the real world? Because some of them did and some of them didn't, right?
Yeah, I would always hope I had always hoped that in the villa that, we could all be friends after. I
Mm-hmm.
always, like, saw myself hanging out with people, like Ace and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that, so, it's different, but it's not really, like, yeah,
Hmm.
I don't know, it's cool.
Hmm. What do you think, Olandria? Because this, some friendships we were speaking about, Huda, although I leave it to you to tell me how close you were inside the villa, like there are some friendships that didn't seem to last. And then there are friendships like your friendship with Chelly, for example, like
Hmm.
that has really lasted, it seems.
No, for sure. I'm super grateful for Shelly. We were each other's support system inside the villa and obviously outside of the villa, especially when we both came out to the amount of hate that we did and we didn't feel supported by anybody but each other because they don't know how it is in the villa. They don't know the amount of things we came out to. Like we will only be able to understand that because we all went through it.
We spoke about the really some hateful comments and
Hmm.
responses you've received, Olandria. Nick, how have you supported Olandria through this? I mean, as someone who is one of the few people that can understand what it was really like. Yeah, how are you supporting her through this?
I think, like, especially during that first week, I think it was the hardest week for Landry and I.
Mm,
Um and I think that, putting down the phone is really important. I think when we scroll through and see all the, we see 100 positive things and then we see that one negative thing and it's
I
like,
know.
oh gosh, and then that really gets to you. So, just, keeping the screen time limited and, calling her, seeing where her head's at, like
Hmm.
still checking up on each other as if we're in the villa and
Well, what do you mean by that?
checking up on each other as if we were in the villa,
Yeah,
like
like what does that mean to you guys?
uh talking about our feelings,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah. Um, in the villa, we're talking about our feelings all day, every day, and when you get out, you're like, I don't really want to talk about that anymore, but it's
Yeah.
important.
That I've
You know,
never thought about that, Nick. That's a really good point. It's like the sort of language that, you know, you guys use or Love Island as like a universe uses is can I pull you for a chat? And what that means is like can we have basically like an emotional heart to heart, often like explicitly dissecting the dynamics of our relationship. And it's funny because like in the real world, that's much harder to do. I guess I wonder like do you think being on Love Island has made you both, this is a question for both of you, like
Mhm.
more able to have emotional, honest conversations with the people in your lives?
you wanna
Absolutely. For me, because I wasn't, those conversations have always been so hard for me because you never know how the other person's feeling. So I always shied away from those conversations. Being in the villa, you had no choice. Pretty much all of your chats were centered around like your true feelings, how you feel about your connection, how you feel about this person, how you feel about their actions and how it affected you. It kind of forced you into those uncomfortable positions to have those conversations. So I kind of became more confident in into having those conversations with people that
Mm,
I'm interested in for sure.
I think like just in the communication aspect, I got so much better with talking about my feelings, and I think as men, where it's hard for us, but that whole Love Island experience made it a bit easier. And so like even in
yeah.
real life, I still try and pull Landry for chats.
What's next for the two of you? What can we expect?
We're going on a hot air balloon and having dinner. I don't know how or when, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure it out right now. I was looking it up
Period.
I was looking it up yesterday, so I'm trying to find out.
Yes, you will. Let's go
I
out
love
on
it.
that. Nick, Olandria, what a pleasure. Thanks for talking to me again.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.